Yo, so you tuned in to MCESol Speaks Forum. It's your brother OB, my brother said here. He ain't with us today, but we're going to keep it rolling. And so I want to introduce some good people to y'all. It's a powerful couple here. And I'm going to just let them share who they are to you. So.
I'm Ty, a.k.a. Ty Coin. This is Angie, a.k.a. Afro Angie.
That's a great introduction.
Thank y'all for coming. So here at Soul Speaks Forum, we just talk about different issues, different things going on. But what I wanted to talk to you, first of all, I know that y'all recently married couple, correct?
Yes.
So can y'all just share a little bit about how y'all met? Y'all mind?
Cool.
I'm gonna put y'all on the spot.
You want to?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can do it.
Oh, I was saying, do you want to? All right, well, basically, I don't know how we didn't meet in Pine Bluff, but we was staying like not far from each other. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking over there.
Oh, you can look at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, like we was staying like probably a couple blocks away from each other, but we ended up meeting in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we were near the Bill Clinton Library. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Should
Yeah.
I tell the whole story?
I mean, how much do you guys want to know? Like,
So y'all been knowing each other for about how long?
it hasn't been very long. It feels like a long time.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. So can you talk a little bit about your business? You know, what's your profession? What y'all do?
Yes. So we have a film and marketing / production company. And we really just want to tell the stories of communities like Pine Bluff and just give like our people hope to remember where they came from and know where they can go again.
That's awesome.
And of course, make a little income on the side.
On the side, the front, the back. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I've been seeing quite a bit of the work y'all been doing. Some awesome video work. Y'all do photography as well. Yeah. So how long y'all been in Pine Bluff?
You've been here.
Yeah, I've been off and on all my life. I came down here when I was when I was in 3rd grade initially, and I stayed with my auntie for a year. Went back to Chicago, and I came back in 2007. Been down ever since.
And then I came for school in 2015, and then I've stayed ever since. But what's interesting, and that a lot of people, I don't think they know this, but my mom was actually born in Pine Bluff, but she was put into the foster care system, so that's how we ended up in Hot Springs. But I might have some cousins around here that I don't know.
Real.
Yeah. So.
And you have family here too, so we definitely have roots here.
Okay. And you from Chicago, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah. So most of us, I'm from Pine Bluff, so most of us got family. You know, it's like the river. That's the pipeline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you on the river. You got family St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago, on down to Louisiana. Like my family run up and down the river. You mentioned something about capturing and telling our story, and which is I think very important that we're able to tell our own stories and narratives. So can you talk about some of the projects that you've done that's
For sure. We did the library, and we really wanted to do that one because a lot of times, the news only shares like the negative stuff about Pine Bluff, and the library had been open for like a month or something, and we were just like, nobody's talking about this library, and it's awesome.
Right.
So we asked OB and his beautiful family, and we just wanted to show Arkansas, like, Pine Bluff is not to be played with anymore. Like,
True. Right. Yeah, and it's like a lot of things that go on in Pine Bluff as far as like festivities that people don't really get a chance to know about. So us having cameras, we can record that, put it on social media and let people see a different side,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, something other than what they see regularly, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like when we become our own news, we can actually tell the whole truth and show that there's some beauty, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So much.
So there's a project that this is before I knew who y'all were. I saw a video about it was dealing with the voting. Like, how did you get involved with that?
See, so that was my rebirth, basically. That was my little renaissance, and I gotta thank my wife for that because I've always had the ability to rap, you know what I mean? But I never had a good reason to do it. Well, her being so involved in the community even before she met me, and really kind of turned me out to it, is a reason why I had that opportunity. So she was working with.
I was working with civic engagement with the city of Pine Bluff. Mm-hmm.
Right, and they needed a rapper, and they was calling, and a lot of people couldn't make it, and she just asked me, like, do you want to do it? I was like, what is it for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it for? And then she was like, it's something to encourage people to vote. And that's something that I truly believe in. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I know if voting changes anything or not. But I feel like we need to utilize every tool we have. So if it's a possibility that it might do something, you know what I'm saying? Why not?
That's real. That's real. I know one of the things that that caught me about it was to see somebody else in Pine Bluff rapping about something other than the normal. Yeah. So that stood out to me. I'm like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And we end up being acquainted, at a later date. So, but yeah, that definitely stuck out to me. Somebody used their skill and their talent for something that's kind of against the grain of what's going on today. How much of an effect do you think that media plays in our daily lives?
I think it raises us. It's about as much as a parent, you know what I mean? Like probably sometimes more. Like when you are a kid and you don't have that good father or mother that's teaching you everything, maybe you are left alone, maybe you grew up alone. I think that you grab information where you can find it. And a lot of people to run away from reality, really, they listen to music, they watch TV, they distract themselves. And when you distracting yourself, you subconsciously learning something. You putting something, you digesting something. And I think people have digest so much that, they say you are what you eat. You know what I mean? And if you eating all of this negativity, if you eating all of this stuff that's saying you are, they calling you out your name and talking about, killing people that look like you, stuff like that, just negativity. Like you gotta wonder why you even pay that any attention. Like why do you endorse it? Right. So yeah, that was a good reason for me to start trying to use the gift that I feel like God gave me, because people actually listening to music, and I actually got something positive to say. I feel like I ain't trying to knock anybody for saying what they say. Everybody has their own reasons for what they do, but I feel like positivity is missing, or it's out there, but it ain't enough of it. You feel me?
Right. I definitely look at as an artist myself, and what I've tried to do, what we try to do with our music is, I just typically say we just trying to balance the scales. You know what I'm saying? Like the scales is real heavy on one side right now. You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to put a little more weight on the other side. Like they both can coexist, but we just decided to scale real heavy. You know what I'm saying? With
Right.
you know, quick story. We were performing several years ago, and I remember the host introduced us. We were like the first show. It's like, yeah, these MCE, they some positive artists. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, let's go get the positivity out the way. I'm like, so when they introduced the other cats, they didn't get, hey, y'all, here come the negative artists. They don't nobody say that. When we get introduced as the positive artists, I'm like, well, if you're gonna be real about us, be real with them too. Introduce them as, hey, they got the most negative stuff y'all want to hear. You know what I'm saying? If we positive, then what they doing then? So they just, I know that media definitely has a way of, like you said, food and input. It's like what you're inputting, you gotta have some output. So the output is, some of the things that we see in our community, and how our mindsets are shaped using media. And media is, we talking from books and magazines, your school books and all of that, to the news, to the movies, the music, the whole nine.
I think to that point, I think a lot of people forget that media is just multiple mediums of transferring information.
Right.
So any way that you get your information, if it's a billboard, if it's advertising, if it's the way somebody does a landscape or even a piece of art, it's so inundated in our society that we don't even realize it. So for sure, it has a huge impact on us. And we're just happy to be surrounded by a community of people like you guys who are also doing your part to put out your, source of information in whatever art form you want, because we have to balance those scales.
Right. So, what are some of your, for future goals? Like, where do you see your business going?
We want to make movies.
Movies.
For sure.
That's
the goal, man. Tell our stories. We have so many real life stories to be told, and it don't make sense that it's so much fantasy out here, especially when it comes to us. You can see a lot of movies and you'll see somebody else playing us when we right here. You feel me?
Right.
So it's important that we start telling our own story at the very minimum. You feel me? Personally, I feel like our culture is hijacked. You feel me? When I listen to the radio, I grew up listening to music and liking it because the people that was around me was liking it. When I was older and I could think for myself, it just didn't make sense when you listen to the words to be cool with this and sing along with it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is stuff that I don't agree with. You feel me? And it just shows you, man, the person or the people that's actually controlling this stuff don't have our best interest in mind. This is not something that they teaching their kids, but they don't mind teaching ours. You feel me? Right. And I feel like the ones that look like me, you feel me? I feel like I can't really blame them, because I have to ask myself, where did our education start? You feel me? Every word we speak out of our mouth is not even our language. You feel me? It's not our words. Everything that we doing because we was taught this. We was taken and had everything that we knew erased. So we doing bad over here. Not to give anybody an excuse to say, oh well, I did this, but it ain't my fault. No, when you know better, you're supposed to do better. You feel me?
True.
But I can't blame people for seeing a way out of poverty or something and wanting to take that route. You feel me? But I do feel like we have to be responsible. People who know better should teach the other folks. You know what I mean? Each one teach one, and you know what I'm saying. We can climb out of this. You feel me?
Man, I know that's a very ancient proverb. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. Many hands make light work. It takes a village to raise a child. All of those just kind of speak to, you know, that collective sowing into, you know, what shapes our minds. You know, your parents have an influence, but when the TV on, the cell phone, the tablets, the computer, you know, the stuff we see in our everyday environment, that's also the village. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of look at like things that we don't own and control in our community typically are being used against us. You know, and what you all are doing is taking back some of our power by creating our own narratives, our own stories, you know what I'm saying? Showing the sides that the news stations don't come down here to run, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we have to create our own narrative, so I'm definitely thankful for the work that y'all are doing. Before we get up out of here, let me ask you this. So if there was an actor or actress that you would want to feature in one of your films, could you name somebody? If budget wasn't a problem, like you would grab them. What did you just say?
Samuel L.
Dang, that's hard. Okay, she said Samuel L. Now, man, I was finna say Denzel.
Ooh, that's
And
a
it's
good
like,
one too.
no matter what age he is, man, dude, this is just the truth.
Yeah.
He don't get old, you feel me?
That's
And
true.
hey, that's a powerful brother, you feel me?
Angela Bassett, she's up there.
That's hard, man. You can't ask no questions.
But you know what? It's good that they have already made their mark. I personally want to see some Southern people come on the scene, and that's another reason why we are so happy to be in the South, even if it's just for right now, because, you know, we still young, so we got more of the world to see. But even like to the point where you guys are saying we got to tell our own stories, I think there are so many more stories in people in the South who have a side that the world has never seen other than like oppression. Like when I drive around Pine Bluff, I see people riding horses. I see people riding four-wheelers, you know what I'm saying? I see the souped-up cars that you see in Atlanta right here in Pine Bluff, and it's like, I want to show that side. Like, yeah, those other actors, they're nice, but it's people like you and Sed and Kwaisi and Little Ya, full of personality that need that shine too. So I'm ready to put y'all up.
That's what's up. So.
We get next to Denzel in there.
Oh yeah, we ain't gonna tell them.
Hey, we put the whole city on.
For sure.
For real. I'm down here and kick it with 9 blocks. Make a movie in the bluff.
Exactly. I think that was a few years ago, you know, we released a video called The Ghetto, featuring Pine Bluff, Arkansas. You may have seen it on YouTube. And somehow, from what I hear, the video got to like city council, the mayor, and all of that. And I don't think they were pleased about what was shown. And it wasn't like we went out and purposely tried to show the worst. We literally just drove around town with a video camera and just shot what we saw,
Yeah.
you know. And I think the city responded with like a 30-minute video with who was narrating?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman narrated the video. Yeah, about Pine Bluff. It's like a 30-minute video. It's on YouTube too.
Wow.
But it was a response to the music video we did. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely know that media can have a major impact. And some of the stuff I've seen on, you know, with the whole social media, you know, it's amazing. It's some of the stuff that images help to shape your reality, you know. So if you're feeding yourself a number of different images, especially if they're not showing you in a positive light, like that's got to do something to your psyche. You know what I'm saying? But
I have a question. I don't know if I'm supposed to ask questions on an interview, but hey, to like that point as far as like showing positive images, when we are like documenting our reality, how authentic should it be, you know? Because if you're just riding around town with a video camera, is that necessarily a negative thing if that's what it really looks like? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? How much should we actually show, and then how much should we, I don't know, how to doctor over?
You know, we was like, yo, it's not like we went and took some bottles and broke glass and then we went and filmed it. Like, we didn't go board up no houses. They were already here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're just saying, look, this is the reality that a lot of people in Pine Bluff were seeing at that time. Since then, like, it's probably been 50, 60 houses torn down. You know, like, a lot of the stuff that you saw in the video is non-existent, you know, right now. So how can people find y'all on any social media platforms? Or how can they contact and get in touch with y'all?
Yeah, I'm Ty Shy on YouTube, and she's Afro Angie.
Pretty much everywhere. And then our media company is the and sign, the letter C Media on Facebook and on YouTube.
I'm glad she can remember all that.
Yeah. Before we go, I just want to ask you just about this experience.
Okay.
You know, so you put out a video about Pine Bluff and the new Black Wall Street, and it kind of went viral. Not kind of, it went viral. You know what I'm saying? So what was that experience like?
Ooh.
I think the news came down. You know what I'm saying? So.
I was just humbled and like really, really grateful. It was definitely an answered prayer because when I first decided to stay here after college, I was welcomed with open arms, but it was kind of like you can do so much better than Pine Bluff kind of conversation. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, for a while I was like, should I really be here? And I just remember feeling like, you know, there's so much potential here. Like the history that I'm trying to share is not made up. It actually happened. This really is a great place. But it was just like, how do you convince people of that when, like you said, you're driving around and you don't see that? And so when people finally, you know, started to see like, oh, Pine Bluff used to be this and they're doing this, it was just like, thank you, God. Like, thank you for helping people to see what this town actually is beyond the constant negative news coverage. And then just to have Ty support me every step of the way. Like, he recorded my first video for TikTok. Very interesting day. And then to have like you on the YouTube video sharing your amazing work with the Black Entrepreneurs Network here. It's just like, I'm just so like thankful that people are seeing what actually is here.
Sure.
I know that was
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know,
How did you?
We just chopping it up.
How did you feel about
Put me
it?
on the spot. About the Black Wall Street.
Or I mean, yeah. Like,
And I like your answer. So I'm just gonna say this. OB, I appreciate everything that you're doing out here, you feel me? And even though, you know, everybody is like looking at us because we usually are in front of the camera, like you do a lot, you know what I mean?
for real.
Like you out here teaching kids how to do agriculture and be self-sufficient. Like you invited me to a group that I didn't even think was here. Like, you know what I'm saying? A group of conscious young black men rapping and being on the same accord, talking about positive things. So like that's what I do too. But like it's so many people in Pine Bluff that's doing that.
Yes.
Like it's rich soil down here. You feel me? And it's because brothers like OB that's like showing us how to do it. You know what I mean? So I ain't want to leave the show without saying my appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Or showing my appreciation.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So y'all got any last words? Anything y'all want to share with our viewers, our listeners?
Everything Ty said, I second. Like, for real, you out here doing the thing, OB.
Right. You know, this is another edition of Soul Speaks. I'm Obafemi. Y'all get ready. With MCE, we got some performances lined up. August 28th, we got the Race First Rally here at Townsend Park. September the 17th to the 19th. I think we're gonna be in Mississippi. The following weekend, I think that's the Atlanta performance. It's another show. I can't think of it right now. But stay tuned. New music coming out, videos,